What's going on, guys? All right. So I was working on my van today. I was changing the spark plugs. And think about if you ever check out a Toyota Sienna. I went to the shop and they're like, "Yeah, you need new spark plugs," which I hadn't had them changed yet. But they were gonna charge me $500 to change my spark plugs, and we're talking like, let me change this. We're talking like 6 spark plugs. So I bought the spark plugs. It's $45 for the spark plugs. I didn't get new wires. I just got the spark plugs. Now, the reason it was $500 is because they have to tear a lot of stuff out of the van to get to the spark plugs in the back. They're really tough to get to. But that's what I did. I spent my morning tearing apart the back of my van to get the spark plugs out, and the van works great now. That's what I've been doing. So I haven't played much yet. So I was working with some of my students. I was doing some Clark studies. Now, if any of you guys want the Clark studies, you can find them online really easily. I'll put this in the chat. It's real simple. There you go. So that should get you to, yeah, there you go. That link will get you to the Clark studies. So I think it's important. The Clark studies are great. I'm going to focus on some of the less obvious Clark studies, like the third one, like the third Clark study. We're talking what number is that? Actually, I can screen share this. So this is a third Clark study. And we'll just do no key signature. We'll do C. Let me blow this up a little bit. Maybe not that much. Let's see. I'm going to show you a couple things when it comes to speed. I also got to do a sound check. So I do a window capture. That's not exactly what I want. Oh, maybe. No, that's fine. Let's just make that a little bit not so humongous. There we go. So we're looking at 52. And typically, I'm going to have a student play it like this. Which is like okay, right? But what's another way to play an E? Third valve. So what's the fastest you can finger through that with 1 and 2? You probably go pretty quick, but since you're using 2 valves, it's a little bit different. Third valve, you can just get a little bit more speed. So think about how fast you can do open 3, open 3. And I would say that's like your goal tempo, to try to play it that fast. Because then you're not talking about the limitations of your fingers. You're talking about the limitation of your lips and flexibility. And then the next one, measure 3 over there. Again, for the A, I would use third valve. So you got C, F, A, and just think about how fast you can do. You can hear it, right? The way the hand just goes up and down. So the flexibility is the important thing here. To get that speed, because the fingers are fine if you finger it this way. For the scale portion at the end, I would probably use normal E, 1 and 2. The way I think about fingering is a couple people screw this up in a couple different ways. So if you're holding on to your trumpet, a lot of people shove their pinky in here in their ring. They shove their thumb under here like this. So essentially what you're doing at this point is like squeezing your fingers down. You're doing this, which is like the slow, like do that. That's like the slowest thing you could possibly do. It's awful. I'm going to check my sound real quick. I'm going to check my sound real quick. That's what I said. Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. That's fine. Okay. So the Clarks are in the chat, but you can also use this. Yeah, that'll work. So, dealing with fingerings. Rather than just squeezing the fingers together, I think you're going to have a better time. Think about dribbling a basketball and doing this motion. Not so, you don't have to emphasize it that, like it's not that extreme. It's just, so you think about, what's the fingering I'm doing? Like at the end, D, or even the CFA, right? The dribble is when you're doing this motion. Like you look at a hand, you can do a lot of things with a hand. The wrist goes up and down and side to side, and the fingers move all around. Like you have a lot of motion here that you can use. So when you're fingering, you want to turn, and you want to, you got the dribble motion and you have the side to side motion. That's where you're going to really get the speed for these things. There's another one. If I scroll down to the next set, this is the fourth study. Let's look at the no key signature one on this one too. So C to D trill, we're talking. Again, with this one, if it's a finger squeeze, you're gonna play slower. You want to kind of spam it like a dribble. Then try to play in the middle so you get the two notes as best as you can make them sound. For the E flat, at that point in the second line, I would use third valve for the first two E's, but then for the regular scale, I would just use 1 and 2. So this point, you can choose whether you go A, 1 and 2 to B, like this, or third. I think you're actually better off doing third valve E. A lot of people don't do that because they're not used to it, which isn't really an excuse for not doing it. Because you can get that turn in there. So far I've been just kind of breaking down individual sections so that you know, sort of like a trick to coordinate playing it as fast as you possibly can. When you play through the whole thing, you also want to work on it. So the second way you want to work on it is tying it all together at a tempo that's consistent. The other thing you want to work on is doing the whole thing in one breath. So doing things in one breath encourages you to use better air, to play more efficiently, not so loud, and kind of forces you to hurry up through it or you'll like suffocate. And if you get faster at it, you can repeat it and finish the whole thing in one breath. Oh, what's another one here? Then this is number... Is this a sixth study? No, I think we're on the fifth one, aren't we? So the fifth study, study number 5. There it is. Does this say willpower? What the heck? That's funny. Willpower is... Endurance is 90% of cornet playing. Endurance is 90%. How many of your band directors say air is 95%? Who really knows? Willpower is therefore necessary to accomplish that which is considered an impossibility by many cornet players. Willpower. That's the thing you need to play the trumpet. According to Clark, as you must have improved by practicing the preceding studies to control your wind, this study contains exercises more ambitious. Indeed. Test of endurance is illustrated here. I think they're just saying endurance in terms of like blowing for a long time. Don't attempt until you can play the preceding ones anytime with perfect ease. Yeah, okay, that's... Let's see. So the one with no key signature. I'm doing this one just more for accessibility. Okay, so like 93. Oh, I see what they mean. So I'm focusing more on the pattern. I'm not caring so much about the range here. But to play a scale pattern pretty fast, something that can help you out quite a bit. Think about E, F, G, E, F, G, and the way that just rolls off your fingers. And then play it a few times. Add the D to it. Add the C to that. And going down is the same way. I mean, it's not hard to go GF, GFE, GFEC with a little turn in there. You can go down just as fast. So think about this motion. Like that's up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And the more you think about your fingerings, the more you think about your notes as like, how do I want to describe it? When you read words, you don't sound out each letter to read the word, you just read the word. Well, you don't play this by playing individual atomic particles and you putting them together to create a larger idea. You just play the larger idea. So think about this motion as up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It's not C, D, E, F, G. It is, but don't think of it that way. Up, down. And you'll play it faster. And then it goes up into the octave. And then it goes into kind of some of the modes. And so forth. But work on finger motion for speed. Oh, and I think the next one is just like a small minor exercise. But finger speed. If your fingers can do it, your lips will learn to catch up. That's the main thing I wanted to talk about today. Also, why don't I get rid of this? I had some mutes come in, which is pretty cool. I don't think I've showed these yet. Get rid of my window capture. So these are, well, let me see if I can grab one. My aunt had some of these come in. Let me see. Gosh, there's a lot of these. So, wooden mutes. It's kind of hard to they're for all kinds of different instruments. So I'm just gonna, and the labeling isn't exactly great, but let me just show you here. So what I understand, from what I understand, this is like, I think this is like an E flat trumpet, wooden mute. I've never tried wooden mutes, so this is like the first time. Actually, that looks a little banged up. So I got these two. There's a black wooden mute. Doesn't really seem like a wooden mute, but whatever. And this one, like you can see, it's wooden. Hold on a second. I think my cat's in the toilet. Come on, cat. Shape up. This one looks quite a bit. Yeah. Yeah, so I think this is like an E flat trumpet mute. And then this one's like a normal trumpet mute. But let's see. I don't know why wood. Oh, that didn't even look like it fits. I don't love that. I mean, it's fine. You can tell I'm not getting paid by anybody to do this. I mean, that's okay. What the heck? I think that cork broke off somewhere. So those are some of the wooden mutes that I got. They sound fine, I guess. They have kind of felt around this part. They're fine. They're fine. I thought there was another one in here. So the Dennis Wick I've always liked because, let me see if I can find it. What's this? It doesn't even say what it is. I've always liked the Dennis Wick. Let me show you. So this is one that I've seen before. This is kind of a typical Dennis Wick London mute, and I like these because if you look at it, you know, it looks like a cup mute, right? And those are pretty sweet. I haven't actually played on a Dennis Wick cup mute, but I've seen them played a lot. Alright, so that sounds nice, right? So this is adjustable. You can actually take the cup on and off. Let me, hold on. I'll show you what I did in just a second. But this thing I like about these is this top part actually comes off. The cup comes off. And this is really nice. This is aluminum. It's got some rubber down here. It's got kind of a felt on the inside. These are really nice. It's your Dennis Wick straight mute here. I like the felt because they obviously care about not scratching up your instrument. So that sounds fine. So what I wanted to show you with the cup, so you put it on like this, and then you have your cup mute. But watch the way it fits over this. It's pretty sweet. So you see how close that gap is? So listen to the difference. If I bring this down, I like that. I think that's cool. It muffles it quite a bit, but I think it's kind of neat. So anyway, I like these convertible cup straight mutes. It's pretty sweet. Well, let's see. I don't think I had a lot of comments this week. Well, I just talked to you guys a few days ago, so I don't think I've gotten a lot since then. But yeah, these mutes, good old mutes. I'm gonna set that back in there. I don't know if I have any. I don't think I have any other trumpet mutes that I got new, but those are pretty nice. This one just looked so tiny. I was surprised. Like an E flat trumpet wooden mute. Like what the? Like who would ever use an E flat? Who would use a? I don't know. That just seemed crazy to me. Anyway, good stuff. So let me see. Yeah. So those are kind of cool. Got those coming new. I've been playing on this David Hickman series mouthpiece for a while, and I'm liking the feel of it. I think it's supposed to be a little bigger, but it feels nice. Not that I've been practicing a ton, because I've been working on it, well, today anyway, because of the car. Let me see if I can find one. These spark plugs, like it was throwing codes at my, yeah, look at that. Like this spark plug needed to be changed a long time ago. It was throwing codes at my computer and saying the check engine light came on. Yeah, that's what I was doing. That's what I was doing all morning. Like, look at all these. I got them all out. It was a pain. It wasn't as bad. Honestly, it wasn't as bad as I thought. When you look at here's the van I'm driving. You guys who take lessons, you get it because you've seen it. But I looked at the manual and I checked out how you're supposed to do it. And they're having you tear off so many things. It's insane. Like it's no wonder it costs $500. But what I did instead of that was I tore the back part out, cut right under the windshield wipers. And that got me enough room that I could dig my hand out behind to get to the back of the spark plugs. And that was cool. So I saved $500 doing that, which was pretty sweet. It's almost as much as, well, I'm not going to talk about this isn't a stock pick channel. We'll do that another time. Or I'll do that on another channel. All right, cool. Well, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm taking off. See you later. I'll give you like 5 seconds or so while I check this out. Please use a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. Keyframes are not being sent often enough, which can cause buffering. Really? Well, what's that supposed to be? Stream status poor. Serious issues. Well, that sucks. It was healthy at 3:30. I don't know how to do that. 8 seconds. Huh. We'll have to figure this out for next time. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you soon.